I'd been dreading this moment ever since the Portland Icehawks chose me in the expansion draft. There was no more avoiding it. The moment of reckoning had come. I walked into the spacious Icehawks locker room and searched for my name and number on one of the stalls. I found it halfway around the room and headed that way, nodding to a few guys I was familiar with. For the most part, the majority of the men seated in this room were strangers to me, other than a cursory knowledge of their careers and stats. I slumped onto the bench seat in front of my locker, attempting to be as inconspicuous as possible while taking a measure of my surroundings. Rather than the loud, raucous locker rooms I'd been in over the years, this one was strangely quiet. Guys talked in hushed tones and weren't gathering in groups to catch up after a long summer. Surreptitiously, I surveyed my surroundings. The entire facility was brand new and first class. Our practice jerseys were spiffy and bore the Icehawks logo in the center in either white or black. A white one hung in my locker. I glanced at the guy next to me and did a double take. At 28, Briggs Pierce was a legend in this league and one of my personal heroes. He'd run into trouble the last couple years, which had him moving from team to team. I didn't know why, and I didn't care to ask. "Hey, I'm Grady, and you're Briggs. I'm really honored to meet you. You're a legend." I was gushing like a fangirl and hated myself for it, but this guy was one of the best defensemen around. I held out my hand to shake with him. He turned his icy gaze toward me. His expression tightened to one of hostility combined with disdain. He glanced at my outstretched hand and back to my face. After grunting something unintelligible, he turned away, effectively dismissing me. I quickly withdrew my hand and felt the heat of embarrassment rising from my neck. Not knowing what to do next, I shifted my attention to the guy on the other side of me. He met my stare with a wide, welcoming grin. "I'm Jarrett." He thrust out his hand, and I gladly shook it. "Grady," I said. Jarrett beamed and leaned forward to whisper conspiratorially, "Don't take Briggs personally. He doesn't want to be here, and he's making his displeasure known." "Could have fooled me," I muttered sarcastically, drawing a snort of laughter from Jarrett. "Have you played with him before?" "Nah, I only know him by his rep. He's an ass." "A talented ass," I added, deciding not to further tread onto that minefield. Briggs's rep had been severely tarnished these last few years. "Now that guy," Jarrett indicated one of the veterans seated across from us, "he's Dash Bates." He spoke in a tone of pure reverence. He didn't have to tell me who Dash was. Every guy here knew of him. He'd been in the league for a long time and had some stellar years, along with awards too numerous to mention. Jarrett continued, eager to share his dirt on our new teammates. "And that's Draco Slenkov. He had a disappointing year last season, which is the only reason he was exposed in the draft. Braden Slater played his entire life with his twin, and now he's here. Goalie Roman Daniels, young but has lots of promise, loves to party and drink vodka. Kirby Darkhorse, another outstanding defenseman. Don't let him fool you into thinking he's always serious. He has a wicked sense of humor and can play pranks on unsuspecting rookies with the best of them." "How do you know all this shit?" "I'm nosy.